All right, happy Friday, everyone. It is actually Friday, and it's episode 39 of Duke's Apocalypse Kitchen. We were just kind of goofing around the kitchen the other day, and I thought, if you could make a pie crust out of Oreo cookies, can you make a pie crust out of Pop-Tart? And I think you can.
I think you can.
I've never heard of it, but we're going to do it.
All right.
And I want to use the brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts, which are not my favorite Pop-Tart, but it would be my favorite crust if I were to make a crust out of them.
Because I would have chosen strawberry.
Well, that's for a different pie. 'Cause
Okay.
the pie filling that I chose is peanut butter whip.
Oh, then
I'm gonna
it does
decorate
make total
the
sense.
bejesus out of it.
Makes total sense.
I thought so.
All right,
Yeah.
bring
So,
it on.
we're gonna treat the Pop-Tarts like a graham cracker crust. It's something that's already baked, mixed with melted butter, a little bit of sugar, and an egg white. Now I'm thinking these are loaded with sugar, so why do we need to add more sugar? And it's a pie crust binding agent thing. It's gonna make it nice and crispy, so we need to do that, even though I know that this is already loaded with sugar. And the egg white is a secret to making a very crispy graham cracker crust, which isn't in most recipes. So if you do this for a cheesecake, add that egg white in, you will not have a soggy crust.
All right.
So, little tip. Anyway, back to Pop-Tarts. We're going to chop these up and put them in the bowl. I have 2 packages, which is 4 Pop-Tarts. I made, before the show started, whipped cream out of heavy cream and powdered sugar.
Okay.
You could use Cool Whip.
All right.
In fact, if I had Cool Whip, I'd be using Cool Whip.
I just have to say, Pop-Tarts are my favorite apocalypse food. In New York, that and toilet paper, whenever there was like a big event, like, you know, bad weather's coming, you're going to be stuck inside, like the first thing that would go would be Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
And it's still, you know, it's the thing that I have craved throughout this entire shelter-in-place experience.
I can see that.
Yeah. So this delights me no end that you are using my favorite comfort food to make another favorite comfort food.
Right.
It is like the pie version of turducken for me.
Yeah, I was like, oh, let's see what we could do out of Pop-Tarts. I bet you could mail a Pop-Tart. You let it get out and get super stale, and you put 2 stamps on it. I bet you could mail it.
Sure. I'll let you try
Let's
that.
all try it.
Okay.
Buy stamps, because
And
that's a good thing.
Let me tell you
Put
what
it
the
on
address
Poptart.
is here, and then mail them all here.
Yeah.
And let's see if Duke gets
see
all
what
the
happens.
Pop-Tarts. But you'll have to be required to make them into a pie.
Once they arrive?
Yes.
No. No.
What's your favorite Pop-Tart flavor?
Strawberry frosted.
Yep.
Frosted strawberry. Don't mess with it. Not the strawberries and cream, not the mixed ones, not the cheesecake. Strawberry. Just stop.
I kind of
Strawberry.
feel like strawberry was one of the first ones they did, and I've never moved forward from
Right.
it.
Because you don't need to. It's
Exactly. It's perfect. I even have one of those, the artist Kiltape?
Yep. Kill taupe.
Kiltope?
Sure.
T-A-U-P-E,
Kiltope.
I think, something like
Yeah.
that. Who's one of our local artists here, has made me, and I think more than one human has a Pop-Tart magnet with one of his little characters on it. That's how much I feel strongly about the power of Pop-Tarts
Yep.
for transformation and happiness. So it looks like you're just kind of cutting them up until they're almost powder.
Well, the powder just happens once I pick up the big chunks.
I'm just going to get a little
Because they
closer
just
to
kind of
that.
fall apart.
And it's got that apple filling in it. All right.
Okay.
So easy enough.
Yeah. So, 4 Pop-Tarts. 1 egg white. How do you get the egg yolk out? Crack it. Put your thumbs in. Peel it back. You have a little cup, and you have a thing with egg. Your yolk is in there. Your white is already trying to escape. That's why we did it over the bowl. We're going to pass that yolk back and forth.
You make it seem so easy. I don't
And
know
boom.
if I can do that.
White's in the bowl, yolk is here.
You're throwing the yolk away?
I don't have any use for it right now.
Okay.
If I did, I would certainly do something with it. Okay, so I'm just gonna set this right here. I have 3 tablespoons of butter, melted,
Okay.
in with the Pop-Tarts. 2 tablespoons of sugar.
And you said that is not just for flavor, but for binding.
Yeah, it's becoming a binding agent in this. And then our 1 egg white.
So I don't know, you're so bathed in ribs that people don't necessarily realize that you have a deep grounding as a pastry chef.
Yes.
So this is an expert identifying materials to come together in unique ways. Because science.
Exactly. So now you can see that I have a nice goo around my Pop-Tarts.
We'll get it a little closer.
See?
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to do a thing called blind baking. We're not doing our filling. We're going to put this in the oven and bake it in our pie. So, the whole thing about pie tins. This is not a tin. This is a ceramic pie dish. This is super thick and super insulating. And it's cold right now, and I need it cold. So this is good for blind baking, and I'm going to bake this in there and it'll be no problem. If I were to make like a rolled out pastry crust and fill it with apple pie and bake this, the top of the pie and the filling would bake a lot faster than the bottom pie crust, and I would not want to bake it in this. I would want more of a metal pie tin to make it in. But for blind baking something, this is going to be just fine.
Mm-hmm. So could you tell why blind? Why do we call it blind baking?
Well, in this particular pie, the pie filling isn't baked at all.
Okay.
So the pie crust has to be baked. We put an egg white in it, we need to bake it now. And that's gonna make it nice and crispy.
Okay.
Nothing else is gonna make it crispy really, unless we baked it.
Dashi's saving our life. A dog just walked by, so that's why she's
Running the perimeter,
she's running the
guarding
perimeter.
the fortress.
So this is an interesting thing that I've seen you do before. So you use a cup
Yeah,
to actually mash it down.
to mash it down, press it into place. Make a nice flat bottom. This actually, no, that wouldn't be better.
And about how thick are you making it, or does it matter?
Well, it does matter. This is coming out a little thicker than what I would probably prefer, but I've never made a Pop-Tart pie, so maybe it needs to be this thick. It looks like to be more than 1/4 of an inch, but less than 1/2 an inch thick right now.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna keep tapping it, see if I can get it to go up the sides. I don't need to go all the way up to the rim,
Okay.
because our peanut butter filling will be just fine. It's an icebox pie.
Icebox, because you have to cool the filling down?
Yeah, because, well, it'll be cold when it goes in, but we will want to set it in the fridge so we'll be able to cut it.
Okay.
So it'll set up like a pudding, like a jello.
So I'll have to look forward to trying it, but I won't get to try it immediately.
Correct.
But I promise everybody we'll take a pretty picture of it so you'll see what it looks like
We
when we
will,
eat it.
for sure. Okay, that seems to be pretty good. Don't have to go all the way up around the rim. This is gonna be great. I'm gonna put it in the oven at 350 for 10 minutes. See you in 10 minutes.
All right. We'll be back.
Okay, we're back. I'm going to make the peanut butter whip filling while the pie crust is still finishing up in the oven. I'm going to make it in the KitchenAid mixer behind me with the paddle, but we're going to pause while I do that because I didn't like the sound of it last time. It was terrible.
Now, if somebody doesn't have a KitchenAid mixer, can they just use a standard spoon?
Yes, so what you want to do if you don't have a mixer is let this sit out to room temperature so that it's easier to mix.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you certainly could do that. It's 1 bar of cream cheese and 1 cup of peanut butter thrown in here. And
That's a
then
lot of peanut butter.
I know. And then it has a cup of powdered sugar. I'm going to knock that down to a 1/2 cup because I'm going to put in some of the extra whipped cream that I made earlier. And that'll kind of make up for the powdered sugar business.
Mm-hmm. And something tells me this is going to be pretty sweet regardless.
Yeah. Got a lot going on.
But since there's peanut butter in it, it's healthy.
Yeah, full of protein.
Totally fine. And you know, Pop-Tarts are actually a breakfast food. So I feel like this is perfect for a complete meal, including dessert, all in one dish.
So, I'm going to be adding whipped cream to this, but remember in the other previous episode, we talked about mixing our thicker things first and getting them all nice and soft and incorporated, and then adding something that's soft and floofy. Otherwise, we will end up with lumps. So if we want it nice and creamy, we do the thick things first and then add the lighter, floofier things. See you in a minute. All right, we are back. I did a couple of things. The pie crust actually needed 13 minutes instead of 10. So I added an extra 3 minutes. And then I let it cool for a few minutes, but just for the show, so we could get it going, I tossed this whole thing in the freezer so that it would really cool down and not hurt our cream. You want it to be room temperature or colder when you go to put your filling in.
And it smells amazing. Like, I've
Smells
never
like-
imagined pie crust like that.
It smells like a pan of cinnamon rolls just came out of the oven.
Yeah.
The peanut butter whip that I did in the mixer was 1 bar of cream cheese, 1 cup of peanut butter, and about ½ a cup of powdered sugar. And then I added about 1.5 cups of whipped cream, because I made whipped cream and then split it up. If you have Cool Whip, you'd add 1.5 cups of whipped cream, Cool Whip to this after the cream cheese and the peanut butter got together and were all soft and mixed up. Okay, this is our filling. This is going in the pie. It bothers me not at all that the crust didn't go all the way up to the rim. I could care less. It's going to be delicious.
Really, all you want is that bottom layer.
Yeah.
It's not containing anything.
I was going to do this in a springform pan, but I can't find it, which makes me think it's at work.
Oh, but do you really need a springform pan?
You don't.
You don't.
Oop, almost lost it. I almost lost
One
it.
got away.
Get in there.
So this is a brand new invention. Like, what are you going to name this?
Peanut butter pie.
Peanut butter pie?
Pop-Tart pie.
I like Pop-Tart pie.
Yeah. Because I need to be able to change it when I want.
Right. It may not always be peanut butter.
So there's lots of toppings you can put on this. I thought if you had a caramel sauce, you could drizzle that over the top. If you had caramel and chocolate, you could make like a turtle sundae kind of peanut butter pie. I have Easter M&Ms, so I'm going to put those over the top.
Peanut butter pie with Easter M&Ms.
Because you got to have some chocolate.
It's actually kind of a pretty color.
Yeah. Look at that. What's not to love?
That looks amazing.
And then we have the rest of our whipped cream. Ooh, I need a clean spoon. Be right there.
And she's back.
Ta-da, spoon. More whipped cream. We're gonna go around the edge.
That fills in the edges. Oh my gosh. So I think you'd want to only use creamy peanut butter with this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the chunky peanut butter wouldn't be as good.
I'm gonna say, make sure it's creamy.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm going to get a beautiful picture of this for you guys.
Yeah. And then it's gonna disappear.
Yeah.
Because I know how these things go.
Yeah.
There we go. That's it. We are going to get some pictures.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're gonna cut it up and we will show a piece cut up and tell you how it tastes.
And then it will get in my belly.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's ready to go. You could chill it again so that it firms up a little more, but I doubt this is gonna last that long. So
It's not going to happen.
you saw it here last.
All right.
All right, tomorrow, barbecue day. Sunday is the 40th episode. Don't want to miss it. Have no idea what I'm doing, but I'll see you then. Bye.